Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain! I can't.
You guys ready, right? Oh, anyway, good night and welcome to the fourth episode of Barbados Manchester United Supporters on Air. It's me alongside a guy like Darius and a guy like Nicholas. How you guys doing?
Yeah, everything Avery, man. Cool.
Yeah, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Glad to be on.
That's good to hear. Well, congratulations to former United players, Cristiano Ronaldo and Nani for winning the Euro 2016, but they are former Manchester United players. So, let's get down to business, guys. So, 3 signings before preseason. The last time we did that was the 2011-2012 season. And you want to know who we signed? We signed one David De Gea, one Phil Jones, and one
Ashley Young. Yeah,
True. No. When was the last time we did that? I can start with you, Nick. Nick, talk to me.
Well, 2007, we signed Nani, Anderson, Hargreaves, and Kuszczak. And 2007, 2008, we won the Champions League. As well, 2009, Antonio Valencia, Michael Owen, Gabriel Obertan, and Mame Biram Diouf came second in the league. That year, lost to Chelsea by a point. 2010 was Vermagil, Smalling, and Hernandez. We won the league that season. Once again, 2011, Jones, Young, and De Gea lost the league on goal difference, sadly. And before the 2012-13 season, our last title-winning season, we signed Kagawa, Nick Powell, Van Persie, and Butner during preseason. So I think for a club to sign players, obviously before preseason, to get all the players to gel, get the players to understand what playing for Manchester United means, get players in the locker room together is pretty beneficial to being successful during the season. In 2013, when David Moyes came, we signed Varela, and Fellaini was signed very late in the window, and we all know what happened in that season as well. So there was no harmony, no unity within the squad as a result of these late transfers, and then Juan Mata was signed in January. So it bodes well for a club to sign players before August 31st. So I'm just glad that Mr. Mourinho has done that. So hopefully we get the fourth signing by the end of this week, hopefully.
Well, you see, Darius, before we have signings before July 1st, we got Dear to Zlatan, we got Mkhitaryan, which is Armenian, and Mkhitaryan, which is in English. So we got Dear to Zlatan, we got the guy from Armenia, and then we got Eric Bailey. And most importantly, we got a guy like Jose Mourinho. So it's technically kind of 4 signings, but in terms of the players, we got 3 signings. So 3 signings before preseason. Talk to me, Darius.
Well, to comment on the last time that we had a lot of signings before preseason, it was actually last year because we did bring in Memphis, Schweinsteiger, Darmian, and Schneidlin pretty quickly in the window, and it enabled them to get a decent preseason with us as well. So that was the actual last time, to be fair. But looking at the players that we have now, I mean, Zlatan, what can be said? I mean, everybody knows the undoubted quality that he has. Yes, he's 35, but his game was never reliant on pace. So I do think he's going to have an immediate impact. Kind of reminiscent of the Henrik Larsson signing that we did, the long signing that we had done, in terms of the impetus that it will add to the attack. I think, just to keep it short, Zlatan will add a lot of experience to our front line. He'll help to improve our young goal scorers in Martial and Rashford, and removes the burden of goal scoring from them as well, which happened last season. Eric Bailly, very astute signing. I think it showed a different side to Mourinho in the sense that he's not a proven player, but he's always had a good eye for young talent. You look at Kurt Zuma and so on, and those types of players, and I think Bailly compares to him. He's strong, he's tall, he's quick, he's good in the air, and that's been one of our biggest failings last season as well. He's also a cover for right back as well, and he's potentially a brilliant player. You know, if all goes well, he should be at the club for quite a while. And then finally, you got Mkhitaryan. This is now adding to us on the right flank. Gives us a brilliant playmaker. He has a great touch, very skillful and quick. Best overall contribution going forward in Europe last season as well. Stats are consistently good throughout every level he's played at, and he offers a more consistent and dynamic threat to Mata, who is
sticking to you, Darius. Though, a big question though. Manchester United, no Champions League, no problem. How we get to pull off that? Because like I can play devil's advocate. We are not in the Champions League, yet we still sign Jose Mourinho, one of the best managers in the world.
Yeah.
Signed one of Borussia Dortmund's best players. I think he was Bundesliga Player of the Year for last season. And then we signed Zlatan. No introduction. How is a club that's not in the Champions League pulling this off, honestly?
Well, there's two reasons for it. United are renowned worldwide as one of the biggest clubs in the world. And they're a club that, if they come in for you, you're probably not going to get that opportunity again. I can see the lure and having a world-class manager finally in Mourinho. I mean, we know that Van Gaal has a great CV, but that was the past. That was 10 years ago. You know, now Mourinho is probably in the top 3 managers in the world. So couple the two together, along with a great transfer budget and open checkbook, somewhat. You can see why players will want to come because they see an exciting time. That's my thought on it.
Nicholas, talk to me. Zlatan, Mkhitaryan, and also Jose Mourinho.
Well,
preseason and no Champions League and T-minus 11 days till preseason.
Yeah. Well, there's not much more I can add. I agree, but it's also down to the clubs. The club has a plan. The club, whenever you're signing players, you don't just. This is not manager mode from FIFA 2008 or 2009. You don't just pay a fee and get the player. You have to negotiate with the player.
That was kind of my favorite game back then, though. But
yeah, mine too. You have to let it. I'm assuming that Mourinho has a plan, and he's been given a plan from the management, and that plan possibly with no Champions League this season, possibly is to win the league. To build obviously on the FA Cup success of last season, to win the league this season, probably to win the Champions League next season. But before these players join, they obviously have to be told of the plan that the club has. The club obviously has to have a plan because if there's none, there's no direction in which the club is going. So with that being said, these players have to be educated on the plan for United, and I believe we have a plan. So, and added to the history of the club, I mean, when United is a dream club for 99% of footballers, professional footballers. So added to that, and added to the prestige of the club, added to the same manager, the same plan that we can see put in place is why players will want to come. And I speak on the plan so much because it is just ringing in my ears what Mourinho has been saying. He's saying that he wants specialist players in every position. So that to me is enough signal of intent that there is a plan for United. He has the way where he wants to take the club forward, and I think that once players buy into that, we can get any player in the world.
Interesting. Well, so in the press conference, Mourinho mentioned something about 4 signings. So if I could count, we got Zlatan, we got Eric Bailey, and we got Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
Who is that question mark? In your opinion, who is going to be that question mark signing? Nicholas.
Well, as I said, he's looking only for specialist players, and in my analysis, I was thinking maybe the next specialist player that he would bring in would be a number 11, a left winger. But
so you have no faith in Adnan Januzaj?
I don't really consider him a out and out winger. He might even be a forward to some people. But
all right, well, okay. Tell me who you think that question mark signing is.
I think that question mark signing it could be Pogba, but I think that we have enough specialist number 8 players in the squad. So I think the best thing for United to do would be to get a left winger. That's the only position I can think of that we don't have a specialist in, either left or right winger or someone who can play both. But I'm still thinking about Ashley Young, still thinking about Issam Januzaj and Valencia. I don't know if I would consider any of them specialists, but they are players in the squad and players who still have a lot of time on their contracts, so they might not leave the club, or they might be used by the manager. But a specialist left winger, but another midfielder wouldn't hurt.
So who did you have in mind? Just Pogba?
Remember on a previous episode I mentioned Kante as well, but Kante seems to be moving to one of Mourinho's former clubs. Still unsure about that, but a left winger. I can't really think of one right now. I mean, I didn't even know about Eric Bailey before he signed for us. So
Okay.
I mean, we could always be bringing in another left winger from the Dutch league, maybe who we may not know of, but might still be a specialist in that position. But a left winger would really bring more balance to these squads. So that could be the signing.
Darius, media reports have this link with Paul Pogba or Pogba Matuidi, and they just finished playing Euros for France in the 2016 final. Who do you think will be that number 4 signing?
Okay. Judging by what Mourinho has said thus far, I do not think it's a left winger. I think Martial and Memphis Depay will occupy that spot. Depay, there's a lot of question marks on. It was rumored that he had shipped his vehicles back to Holland, maybe in anticipation that he may be on the move. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But what Mourinho did promise was 4 fundamental signings. And then after that, there possibly could be more, dependent on who leaves the club. For me, my gripe about the squad, even last season and the season before, was a lack of a ball-playing central midfielder. I thought we were getting that in Schweinsteiger, but due to his injury situation and his age and his lack of legs, I think it didn't quite work out, although he did pretty well. I think that's the area we need. And to be honest, Pogba is the one we're going for, but I think we're actually going for the wrong player. I would like to see a Modric come to
Modric.
a Luka Modric. Yeah, I think absolute quality. And if Madrid wants to take the risk on Pogba, Pogba's a great player, and I do like him. I think he'll do a good job for us. But for 40 million, you could probably get Modric in. We'll be saving 60 million that could be used next summer or in January or whenever we need to. And I just think that he'll be a better player that's actually suited to the Premier League and is proven. So that's my opinion on that one.
Well, my opinion, no, that 4th signing. Well, I don't think it's going to be a striker. I don't think so. We good in the strike department, in my opinion, or at least a season. I would say probably. But like we're also linked with that guy from Mexico, Irving Lozano. So it's like Irving Lozano, Pogba, and Matuidi. So out of those 3, in my opinion, I'm gonna lean towards Lozano, but who I'd really like to see is Matuidi.
Yeah.
As he has been doing a job for PSG, and he has been one of France's best midfielders in the Euros.
I
And
agree.
would definitely add some steel to my United's midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be our 4th signing though.
Yeah. I agree with that. I still feel there is a bit of a question mark for me on the depth at centre back, because I don't have any faith in Jones, and I don't have certainly any faith in
Got to have faith in Phil Jones. Got faith in me and Isa Phil. Have faith in Phil Jones.
Last time I had faith in a player was Anderson, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think, huh?
yeah, talk to me, Nick.
Yeah, but the talking about midfielders, right? There's a lot of midfielders out there that we're linked with, a lot of midfielders that we could bring in, but we also have so many midfielders at Manchester United as well. So many central midfielders who can play either number 8 or number 6 or even number 4. But I think we have to wait for the midfield situation. I don't think it is fully sorted out as yet because we still have players like Fellaini. I don't know if Fellaini will be useful under Mourinho. Still have players like under Herrera, Mata. I don't know if they will be useful or Mourinho will even consider using them. So I think we have to wait till preseason and see the system that Mourinho wants to implement. If he wants to implement a similar system, um, as he did at Chelsea and won the league 2 years ago, well, no, last year, sorry. I think that players like Daley Blind will be particularly useful. Players like Juan Mata may see the exit, seeing as Mkhitaryan was signed. But a ball playing midfielder such as Matuidi, so this is just to back up your point, but a ball winning midfielder, sorry, such as Matuidi, being as he's naturally left footed, he gives more balance in the midfield when you have a right footer and when you have a left footer, you give more balance in the midfield. So I think that we had a lot of balance in midfield when we had Daley Blind and we had Di Maria playing as well. We looked a little better than we did after Di Maria left last season. So a left footer in the midfield who would bring energy, brings loads of energy, that's for sure, and he can tackle. So I think that if we can't sign Pogba, if Pogba doesn't want to come back to Manchester United, which I would hope he doesn't, for my own reasons, I think that Matuidi would be a good signing.
That's
And
a topic for another time.
yeah, but I think that we have to wait
Details
first.
very ludicrous. But anyway, don't let me
Yeah,
interrupt.
I think we have to wait first until preseason and see where the players fit into what system he wants to play. Then we can decide for ourselves, and then he can decide for himself who he would bring in. But yeah, I agree with you, Matuidi, the possible Matuidi transfer.
Okay. Let me give my input on a topic discussed before, which was basically no Champions League, no problem. I got Liverpool fans and I got Arsenal fans ask me these questions, and they say at the end of the day, it's still Manchester United, one of the
Yeah,
biggest clubs in the world, one of the biggest clubs in Europe. They attract some of the big name players out there. If you're not playing for Man United, you're playing for no one. Okay, that's what I just told them. But
yeah.
any final thoughts, guys? T minus 11 to preseason. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. What I wanted to touch on was the fact that Mourinho was out of work from December. Now, we all heard the murmurs and the rumors that he was linked with the job from since January, February, around there. I believe that he strongly knew that he's going to get the job. And he already started his scouting reports. He already started looking at the players in the squad, looking at potential targets, his plans for the summer. I think he was in the loop a hell of a lot more than what the media actually realized. And he knows exactly what he wants. He knows what he's going to play. I think he knows his system. I think he knows exactly how he's going to want the players to line up. And he's just going to just get the players in that he needs and ship out the ones he doesn't. I have a lot of faith in certain players that weren't given a good chance under Van Gaal. You know, Depay suffered a serious confidence crash. Schneiderlin as well. I think there's a lot of good players at United, and I hope that he doesn't ship out the wrong ones.
Nick,
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
Yeah, just adding on to what my brethren there said. When Mourinho first came, his first press conference, and I watched the entire thing about 4 times, and it was so heartening to see that mainly what he was saying was he's come here to win. He understands the expectations of the fans, of the club, of the management, of the players. He understands that he understands Manchester United better than anybody else almost that can manage us now. He even wants to implement all new signings play at Old Trafford before they make their debut. So that tells me that this man has come into the club, and like Van Gaal and Mr. Moyes, come into the club and understands the foundation of the club, understand what the club is built on. And it's so fascinating to hear him mention the word win so much. In contrast with Pep Guardiola on the other side of Manchester, and I've watched interviews with Guardiola, and he makes it seem as though he's here in England to improve himself as a manager, and it seems that he's putting himself above Manchester City. I don't really care, but I just wanted to highlight that difference between the two of them, and I want to say that I think United are in good hands for the next 3 years and hopefully beyond with this guy Mourinho.
Well, thank you very much, guys. And my final thoughts are there are only two clubs in Manchester. That's Manchester United first team and Manchester United reserves. That's just Anybody disagrees? Well,
Yeah.
oh well. But like, thank you, Darius. Definitely like having you here. Definitely, Nick. So this is the end of the fourth episode. I'm definitely looking forward to see you guys chat again.
Yeah,
And
man.
we are out.
Yeah.